going down, everyone? It's time for episode number 192 of Mojobreak, The Hype. We've got a lot to talk about. You can see I'm so excited. I almost jumped into the show before it was time to jump in the show. But now we're here. We're going to talk about the National. We're going to talk about NFTs, Top Shot. And we're going to talk about young quarterbacks. Who should you invest in? We're going to give you our opinion on that. So a lot of stuff to talk about today, and the hobby is exploding right now. So check out Mojobreak.com for your break spots and MojobreakShop.com if you want to get into buy your own box, get it shipped to your house. We're also going to be doing another giveaway. We're going to announce the giveaway winner from last week as well, but we're going to be giving away a box of Select Football. So check in on that later in the episode. Dan, how's it going?
Pretty good. C-Rad, you take a private jet to work today with your AMC money?
To the moon, baby. And this is the second time this year I'm going to the moon, because the first time the moon landing was with GameStop.
You had a round trip.
Yeah, round trip.
You got frequent flyer miles to the moon.
I'm like, I love video games in the movie theater, so I'm just all in.
Man, is it still going up as we speak? As the show goes on?
It will be that stock. And again, we don't give stock advice. We have no idea what we're talking about.
We're not financial advisors.
We're not financial advisors. But I don't know. Is it at like $3,000 a share now? What are we? What's going on?
Man,
what's GameStop at? Like what?
$290.
What is going on right now? Like, obviously, take a step back. AMC worth $65 a share?
No.
No. But why is it?
But because for very technical reasons, and I don't want to speak without any actually knowing what I'm talking about either.
Nobody knows.
But basically, the companies and hedge funds that had a short interest on these companies and these stocks, the opposite happened. Instead of it going down and down and down to where they could sell their shares for more than what they bought it for, it's the opposite, where retail investors are pushing the stocks up and up and up and up, and which causing them to lose millions of dollars. And as they lose millions of dollars, they have to buy out of the positions at the current stock price. So that is also what drives the price up even higher.
So they kind of get caught holding the bag.
Exactly.
Is that where the phrase came from?
Yeah.
Did it come from Wall Street?
But they jump in on the ride too, right? If they jump in at a certain price, so they actually probably wind up making money eventually, right? As long as they don't,
if it keeps going,
as long as they don't keep holding the bag. But this is
it's crazy, man.
This is are we Jim Cramer over here? Or, I mean, what are we?
That's the basic of it.
The stock minute here on the hype.
And I could be wrong, but that's basically
no. I mean, you know what? Even if you are wrong, it sounded right.
Yeah.
Sound like you know what you're talking about.
It sounded right.
Sound like you practice in front of a mirror.
The ride's not over. Get a jump on.
So, yep, check it out, Mojobreak.com for your breaks. Follow us on, subscribe here if you can, here on Mojobreak Media. It's easy, just click subscribe, and we got some great stuff coming up. I'm going to be interviewing Michael Hodges from the Clubhouse, so that'll be posted probably next week. We're going to talk national, and we're also going to talk about OG stuff, like OG breaker stuff, because there's not many of us that have been doing it for 10 years. Michael Hodges is one of them, and we're going to discuss how it was back when you used to have to just do everything by pen and paper and ink and quill.
Dude, at Blog Talk.
Blog Talk, that's what
Blog
it was.
Talk, well, Blog TV. There's also Blog Talk Radio.
Mm-hmm.
So you go back 10 years ago, this show would not be on YouTube. We would be on Blog Talk Radio.
Yeah,
like we were back in the day.
Blog Talk, yes. Blog Talk Radio. That was fun. Yeah, you used to have to just you'd have to send us money through the mail, and then we'd send you a VHS of your break. So that's how it all got started, guys. It's crazy times. Talking about crazy times, the National is here, and it's pretty much officially confirmed, unofficially, officially confirmed. It's happening July 28th, which is the greatest day of the year, by the way. It's my birthday, but July 28th is when it kicks off, which is Thursday, or actually that's Wednesday, and it goes to August 1st over at the Donald Stevens Convention Center in Rosemont / Chicago. They call it Chicago. And, so I guess June 11th, the governor of Illinois said that he's going to announce that the state will go ahead with their Phase 5 reopening plan, which means all events can happen in Illinois without capacity restrictions. So as long as nothing happens between today, which is June 2nd, to 9 days, nothing happens, I think he's going to announce it. And the card community rejoices, and it's exciting. So I want to start with Dan here. How crazy. I mean, this is 2 years in the making. 2019 was the last National, and it was in Chicago, and it was pretty hyped. It was crazy. C-Rad was there.
Oh, yeah.
And we took a year off, obviously, because some bad stuff happened. And now we're here, and it just feels like the industry tripled, quadrupled, 10 times in the amount of time that we've had at National.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a much different national, is what I'm assuming is gonna look like when we get there. Right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what to expect. My head may explode several times at the show.
You think 100,000 people are going?
There was 90,000 in 2019.
You think there's 100,000 people going?
There could be, over the course of a weekend, there could be 200,000 people going.
What about 300, John?
Over under?
I don't know, man. I can't imagine. I mean, I've been to trade shows. We've all been to trade shows. I've been to trade shows that are a lot bigger layout than the National. I could not imagine having 200,000 people at the Donald Stevens Center.
Well, when they say there was 90,000, they say the course of 4 days.
I know,
so.
I know, but you gotta see. I mean, there had to be a peak where there probably was at least 50 or 60,000 people there at one time. I couldn't even imagine 200,000 people going through. I mean, it's a big convention center, but in the grand scheme of things, it's really not that big. Like the Anaheim Convention Center is like,
well, there's got to be.
It's like 3 levels to it.
There's got to be some kind of capacity restrictions, right? There have to be a count where you for danger of a fire. They have to
yeah,
stop.
I mean, but
and that's what me and Cody were actually trying to figure that out earlier. Like, what is the maximum capacity of people that could be in the Donald Stevens Center? Because I think we will hit it this time.
Probably I would 60,000 maybe.
If somebody has that info out there, I'm interested to know that how many people can be inside that building at once. Because people are still going to be, a little bit weird on COVID and stuff like that, and for good reason. So it's going to be interesting how people react, because people are coming from all over the world to be there, all over United States to be there. And everybody has different ways of how they do things, and everybody's city does things different ways. So they're all going to be together in one melting pot. So it's going to be interesting to see, one, how many people get let in. Is that if you go there, you're going to have to wait in line. Obviously, if you're trying to get some of the freebies, you're going to have to wait in line. But are you going to have to wait in line outside? I don't know that. Saturday and Sunday, there may be lines outside.
I also think that a lot of the promotions that the manufacturers do, where people line up at their booth, will probably not exist or be done in a completely different way.
You're going to have to.
Because they're not going to want 700-800 people at a time lined up around their booth. Before, it would look good. It's good optics to make it look like your booth is the happening spot. But now, I think the optics have completely changed, where you don't, for the safety of your crew and the safety of other people, you probably don't want to have that many people in one concentrated area.
It's and yes, somebody asked in the chat if we are going. We're going to have a booth. We're going to be giving away free shirts, free breaks over the Break Pavilion. So look for more info on that. We're actually going to put that info on the main Mojobreak.com site. So there'll be info on how you can, if you're going. We also want to know if you guys are customers of ours, Mojobreak.com. If you're going, we want to know ahead of time so we can get some stuff prepared for you and meet you face to face and have something for you.
Yeah, we got an autograph signer coming down as well.
Yeah, it's Dan.
No, it's C-Red. It's actually C-Red. I'm 2019 National. I'm not kidding. So Doug and I are sitting there. Conrad comes in on Saturday, but every day, probably about 20 times a day, people would come up to us and go, "Is Conrad here? Is Conrad here?" And then I basically text you. I'm all, "You're going to have to be doing autograph signings. You're going to have to come down. We're going to basically go, Conrad's only signing from noon to 1. You got to get in line. Only signing flats, not doing anything else."
What's crazy is that when I actually got there on Saturday, I probably didn't even get to meet as many people as that went through the earlier days. So this year I do plan to come for at least 2 full days. So whoever's there, we're going to be hanging out.
2 days of signing.
I guess I'll
work out the rest there. Dan looking very tan. What's up, Trevor? Trevor, old school OG. Trevor, remember this back in the day?
I've been getting a little vitamin D.
Getting some vitamin D?
Just walking around. It's a little sunny here in California. So,
well, what I was going
enjoying
to, speaking of sunny California, I went to an amusement park over the weekend with Great America. For those that are around here know about Great America. If you're not, you're like, what the heck? Google it. California Great America. It used to be Paramount Great America. But they actually had the lines for the rides. You were still required to wear a mask in the place, even though it was outdoor. The rides had 6-foot markers, but nobody was paying attention to that. Everybody was closer to the next group of people by more than 6 feet. So I don't think you're going to see if there is lines at the National. I'm telling you, it's human nature to not be past 6 feet. So, I don't know what that means. I don't know if they're going to make people do that or what.
And how can they enforce that?
Or how can they enforce it, right?
Yeah.
So nobody seemed to, but
each
we also
person-
had masks on too. So
Each person needs to enforce it their own way.
Yeah.
I
Like, give me
enforce
some space, bro.
I enforce it with doing the old school hardcore dancing. It's like throwing your arms out like that, making some space.
might get hit with these guns.
Might get hit with the elbows.
So, but I think there's also a whole new demographic coming into the National. You guys that have listened to us for a long time, we've been doing this show for 10 years. We've been doing breaks for 10 years. But there's the Generation Z or whatever you call it, the generation of flippers that will be at the National with a camera. I expect more videotaping than ever before.
Oh yeah.
From what I've talked to people that have went to the
camcorders, the big ones.
I went to the Dallas show, that went to the Wisconsin show. Everybody's trying to be card famous. Everybody's trying to be a cardboard millionaire out there. So
Waiting for that phrase.
Technology is so easy. You could either record on your phone, you can get a $100,000 camera, walk around, and some people have a couple friends. They're doing multiple camera angles. And you're going to see a lot of that going down, I think, at this year's National. So do you think that the National in itself limits that? Because, you go to some shows and no flash photography is allowed. Do you think that it ever gets to the point that they stop people from recording, or it's just, just going to happen?
I got a question. I mean, don't you need to sign a consent release form to have your likeness videotaped?
You would think. Yeah.
Isn't that a thing? That has to be a thing, right?
I don't know if you're like in the distance and they have your face on there. If you
No, I mean, what if like Joe is set up with Joe's card shop is set up, it has a booth, and Zachary, the content creator, comes up and starts filming everything and basically puts it on YouTube, makes a series out of it, monetizes it. Don't you have to get written consent from the card shop owner that you filmed?
I don't know, Cody. Do you know any information on how that works? I don't know. I think you do if you're monetizing somebody's likeness. Absolutely.
Yeah, I think it comes down to monetization, I think, is the main thing. Also, yeah, D-Port is saying it's also a public space, so that there's that as well. So, there's some workarounds for sure.
All right, so I'll get a shirt made, and it will be like a consent form. And I'll be like, I give everybody a consent to film me.
Or say a shirt that says, "Don't film me, bro."
Don't film me, bro. Actually, it's funny you have the dinosaur picture there. I was actually joking with Doug yesterday. I was thinking about getting one of those inflatable dinosaur costumes and just wearing it around the National.
That would be pretty funny. You should do that.
Just go up to booths.
I don't think you could pull it off for like the whole day though. You can only do it for like an hour. Or so.
I mean, it has to be blowing air in there. It might be pretty comfortable. It's a little humid in Chicago.
Yeah. And what would you just go to people like, I'm an old school collector?
Yeah, I've been collecting. I've been doing group breaks since 2010, and this is me.
Do you think how many celebrities are now involved in this? It's going to be interesting to see how they show up with their entourage of people, if they do. Like A.J. Dillon. A.J. Dillon from the Packers is doing breaks. He's got a full Instagram dedicated to just cards, right?
Yeah.
And we see these guys buying into breaks, some of these guys buying into breaks. So it'd be interesting to see if these guys come in, because Gary Vee at 2019, he was the celebrity. He was the big name. Everybody wanted to sniff Gary Vee's arm somehow. Everybody wanted to get a little photo with Gary Vee, right? Which Joe puts in the chat, who was Gary's t-shirts. That would be very classic. But he was the big name. And I think you have Darren Ravel's already said he's going to be there.
He's got a booth.
I know Bill Simmons has gone to many Nationals before, but he usually kind of goes in early, and you don't really see him around. Evan Mathis, I think the former football player, he's had a booth there. And but I think you're going to see more of these guys. Maybe Chris Brown shows up. I don't know. I mean, he was doing a video earlier on cards. These guys show up. With Rob Kardashian, maybe he shows up. So it's going to be crazy, not only from the YouTubers, which we highlight here, the old school versus the new school at the National, but I think you're going to have a lot of media coverage there in general from these guys walking around. So it's going to be weird. It's going to be crazy. I don't know what to think of it. It's going to be a good time to see friends that we haven't seen in a long time. A lot of these friends we haven't even seen since 2019. It's been 2 years, so it'll be nice catching up with those folks. But once again, if you're at the National, come check us out at the Case Break Pavilion. We're going to be doing free breaks, and we're going to be giving out free shirts. And we just want to see you guys, put a face to the username. So, like, hey, I'm Fatballs420. I'll be like, cool, now I know what you look like, So I know what you look like. I know your YouTube name, but now I have a face to associate with the name. So, and sometimes you think somebody looks a certain way, especially with a username like that. And then
you know what, and that's one that you would have to get probably circa 1999. Because that one was taken right away on every platform.
I'm sure
on Hotmail, on Yahoo, on AOL, Fatballs420. Tough one to get.
Man, you probably could sell that then.
If you had it. PHAT, right?
Yes, yeah, not FAT.
Yeah.
I mean,
Not just like 49ers guy or Raiders guy, just fat balls.
Yeah.
420. You have to put the 420 after it just to
accentuate the
just to make sure that you know what you're into.
Yeah, pretty hot and tempting. PHAT. So yeah, but definitely on a serious note, yeah, we do want to meet you guys. You guys that have been in our chat for years. If you're making the trip out, I definitely recommend, for one, if you're making the trip out and you haven't booked your airfare and hotel, I'd do it now.
Yeah.
Especially with hotels. If you decide to not go, you can cancel usually 48 hours before. Just book it before it's too late. Get your flight too. Those are going up too. The airline industry is all about charging more every day. So get your flight in. Get out there. Rosemont is the best place for the National out of all the locations they have. Just a great center area that has multiple places to eat. You don't really have to go anywhere. Everything's there. Walk across the street from one of those hotels right to the National. Go eat right after the National right across the street. I mean, it's all centrally located. Unlike Cleveland and Atlantic City, not all centrally located. So if you're going to make the trip, you're looking to do something in the summer, I would definitely head out to the National.
You could also go hang out and watch the second annual group break two-hand touch football game.
Ooh, yeah, we got to bring that back.
Got to bring it back.
I did get the game-winning touchdown last
You did. I mean, I'm not. I had like 5 touchdowns.
Let me ask you guys a
I had like
question.
5 touchdowns in the game, but I mean,
You guys usually run that game with the same folks, right? Breakers.
Yeah. So
what if 20 new Facebook breakers show up and we're like, hey, can we play?
I mean, we can do tournament style. But I think we got to actually run the same teams back. So
yeah, there's I might have to bring some little soft cleats out there.
I'm not doing cleats, but I'm definitely not going to be playing in jeans like I was last time.
Yeah.
I'm going to be showing up ready to go.
Decked out. Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, again 5 touchdowns. I think I stripped the ball from Doug and ran it in for a touchdown. So I had a defensive touchdown. You tried.
I had 2 plays, 2 touchdowns.
You tried to lateral the ball to somebody, and I just picked it up and just ran the distance.
That wasn't me. I think
that was you. That was you.
I won the MVP award. I wouldn't have won the MVP if I didn't.
I wasn't taking you that last play.
With so many people with cameras this year, hopefully somebody records it and it'll be up on YouTube.
Yeah.
We decided we were going to play catch a little bit, and then it turned into a game, and then it turned into almost 2 hours of playing.
Nice.
Yeah, and there was a lot of possible injuries. I think
there was. I jacked up my knee. I was hurting for 2 months after that.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're gonna get to it though. Back to the Nationals real quick. But has Panini announced anything in terms of?
No, I don't think any of the car companies have yet. I'm sure they're now that they know it's a go, they're going to be doing stuff. I mean, that's another thing. If you're familiar with the National, there's always silver packs, possible VIP party with Panini. I don't know if it's going to happen this year. They don't have enough time to plan it. They don't really need to sell any product. So, I mean, they probably need to do something to, get customers to their booth and get customers to their retailers' booths like Blowout and DA and all that stuff. Some incentive to sell some boxes. But trying to plan a VIP party in this short amount of time, I don't know. We'll see. I'd say it's about a 50-50. VIP party is they bring in some amazing, athletes. You get to hang out with them and get some special packs, free dinner, open bar. C-Rat, tell them how cool it was last year.
It actually really was amazing.
2 years ago.
They had catering there. They had arcade units set up. They had a pool table. They had basically anything you could want at a sports card party that you would assume from Panini would throw. So everything was there. It was it was the athletes are always cool to hang out with too. They always come in. Last year, anyway, 2 years when I went, they were coming in and out of the VIP and the regular. So it was just a fun time.
Yeah. What was your, last year was the 2019. I keep
2 years ago, yeah.
2 years was your first national. What did you envision before you walked in there compared to how the reality was there?
It was actually overwhelming because I had never been before. So for a first timer, it is very overwhelming with the amount of booths and the amount of things going on at the same time. I definitely felt like I didn't have enough time to even see half of it or not even a third of it the one day that I was there. So be prepared if you love sports cards. It really is like it's an awesome time.
Yep. Spent a lot of time thumbing through singles. You can look at some people have like booths of cards and they just have like a ton of $50,000 to $100,000 cards just sitting right there. They probably don't even really want people to buy them. They just want
showing
people
them
to
off.
look at them.
Yeah.
If there's a card you're looking for and if you can't find it there, it may not exist. I mean, to be honest, anything under the sun is there.
I think if I had to just guess, bro, I know like you were saying, it's a short amount of time, but I feel like Panini's gonna throw something.
Yeah.
Maybe not necessarily like like you said, they don't really need to sell anything, but they may still have like the party, like a VIP party aspect where it's like, oh, if you want to come to our party, we're gonna like have same thing, catering. Like
yeah, but
they need to spend money probably though.
Yeah,
they do need to spend money.
Yeah, I don't know how they're gonna decide who gets to go.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. We'll see. I wouldn't hold my breath and think that there is 100% going to be a VIP show. I mean, Upper Deck does one as well. I don't think they're going to do one. I don't know if anybody's going to do one. I think everybody's just kind of going to try to avoid a group of people where
That's true.
where they're
That's
like
true.
where it's their event, like they're basically going to be held accountable.
That's
so
true.
I think
That's true.
they're just going to try to avoid doing that.
And one last point I want to make is that we're probably going to be doing if for those that are looking for more like a national history and specific show, we're probably gonna do one closer one than the national.
Yeah, we're actually gonna be doing content for the next 8 weeks leading up to the national. So
Okay.
I'm gonna have some guests on. I'm gonna try to get some guests from the national. I think Ray Schulte, stuff like that. We're gonna get those guys on to talk about the national. But there's a lot of great videos out there of past nationals. This is going to be crazy. This is going to be the one to be at. I mean, we're reaching a peak in this industry, and I think it's all going to culminate at this year's national.
I think we say that every year.
I
think in 2013 we were like, "This is the national you want to be at."
Well, I don't think you'll ever tell people before. I don't think you're ever say, "Don't be at this."
When was the Atlantic City one? We could probably go back and be like, "This is that one. This is the national that you want to go to." I
don't know if we did, man.
I don't.
Yeah, I think I remember back then you guys weren't that enthused to go to
I
that
actually think I was
on the hype.
I think I was stoked. I was like, "This is going to be awesome," and then I realized that we were going to have to fly into like Philadelphia, and then drive 2 hours in a rental car. Then I was like, "I don't like that.
Yeah,
I don't want to do that."
So that's tough.
Now flying into O'Hare, you could literally see the Rosemont Convention Center, the Donald Stevens Center, from the airport. Like, it literally is, like, right there. Mm-hmm. You get out of the airport, the terminal, and you're, like, there. Yeah. They have shuttles that, I mean, it's like a 2-minute shuttle drive. So.
Well, amongst the good news that happened yesterday with the national news, BGS slipped in some bad news, and they were hoping that people were just too excited about the national to notice that they've suspended most grading services. Starting June 7th, Beckett will suspend all grading submissions other than our premium level. All other orders that are submitted under the Express, Standard, and Economy will be returned to the customer ungraded. The reason behind this decision is simply to allow us to focus on the growing backlog we have to get as many cards back to customers as possible before the national. This is not ideal for anyone, but something that our competition has done. We now feel that this is the right move for Beckett. Again, this is going to be our temporary and something we believe will improve our availability for the remainder of the 2021 and into the 2022. I have a question. Whoever wants to take this first. Do you think that BGS and PSA talked as far as when they were going to stop their services and plan this out? Or do you think BGS was just like, we're going to hold on and take some more business?
Yeah.
I don't think they talked.
Elaborate. You don't think they talked?
No, I think that's what happened. I think actually Beckett was always going to intend to stop their economy service. I just think that they were like, let's not do it at exactly the same time PSA does it,
Right.
but we are going to do it. It's just a matter of time. And they probably look at it now and go, we should have done it when PSA did it.
Yeah, but that would probably look really bad industry-wide. Because PSA is, I think, starting to come back, so people will have that option to go to PSA, I think, rather shortly here, sooner than later. I think they made a phone call. I definitely think, like, PSA was like, hey, we're thinking about shutting down. Are you guys thinking about shutting down? Yeah, we're thinking about shutting down. How about we shut down for a couple months, and then you guys, shut down a couple months after that, and, it'll eke it out the playing field. I would definitely make that call. If it was like a business decision, group break-wise, and decision had to be made like that, I would call a few of the big group breakers that I know and be like, hey, are we doing this or what's going on? You know what I mean? People are hating on them, but it's something that has to be done. They couldn't have predicted the increase of grading. You can never have as many employees for the demand, especially when you just let people send in as many things as possible. You cannot close the door. You can't shut off people filling out forms online and sending their stuff in. Just imagine if it would be like if we had on our website, we allowed the Jaguars to sell for however many times as possible.
Yeah.
It would be like 200 breaks worth of Jaguars right away, right? How would you stop it? So that's the situation they're in. I'm wondering if any of these companies do something that control the amount of volume that comes in going forward, like X amount of orders a month, and that's it. Because if you just open the floodgates, then you're going to run into the same problem again. You can never prepare. Let's just say that Prism football comes out and Trevor Lawrence is, he's already won 4 games, thrown for 1,200 yards in those 4 games. Everybody's going to be great in Trevor Lawrence. They're not going to be able to keep up with the demand, no matter how many employees they have. So it's almost like you need to have some sort of situation where you make people go online, and if the X amount of cards are filled up for the month, you got to stop until next month.
What about this? What about if it becomes not extremely rare, but harder to get a 10, and 70% on an average come back in their 9s? Wouldn't that deter people from wanting to send their cards in because they're only getting a 9?
No, I don't think people pay attention.
No,
to that.
I think they do, though, because that was the whole thing about why PSA got backlogged. Everybody was sending every card they had to get a 10, because if you got a 10, your card was going to go up 8 to 10 times.
Right, free money.
When it basically, if it would go up, if it was a 9, it would go up maybe a little bit more than being raw.
Right.
So if you're getting 70 to 80% 9s and it's really difficult to get a 10, I think that's going to deter people from wanting to send their cards in, meaning there would be less cards and less volume to grade.
I don't think anybody, unless you have a lot of friends that are grading, I don't think people pay attention to the amount of 9s that are graded.
I think if you go to a pop report, and I think if you're into the grading game and it's something that you do on a regular basis, that pop report inside and out, and you look at it on a pretty regular basis.
Yeah, I mean, there's some stats floating around on Twitter, I think.
I mean, I'm not saying that that is going down.
It definitely has flipped. If you looked at I think there was one of these guys got a PSA, like a bulk submission type of, like the optic base rookie, prism base rookie, big submission of 400 cards. I think it was like 70% 9s. And
yeah,
30%
I mean,
and like 16, 17, 2016, 2017, 2018. It was almost like the other way.
I know that's. I only bring it up because I've seen the pop reports, and I've seen the huge disparity in the last 6 months to 9s and 10s. It literally flip-flopped. When PSA got backlogged, everything that goes through the pipeline now, it's like 70 to 30 9s to 10s.
Right.
As opposed to what it was before. We would send in, and we do very little grading. And when we would do grades, it would come back like 70% 10s and like 30% 9s.
Yes.
I don't know. Is it a coincidence? Maybe.
I mean,
I don't know.
You kind of have to. I mean, that's where I don't want to say grading is a scam, but it's human nature. Like I said, we've said on the show many times for you guys that listen to this all the time. if I saw 186 Jordans in a day and say there was potentially 4 10s, I, as a person, would probably not give out 4 10s. I would only give 1. So you're seeing more in. You're not going to give the same grade as if you've seen only 1 that day. If you only seen 2 Jordans that day, maybe you'll give it 10. You've seen 100 Jordans that day, you're still only going to give the 1 or the 2.
All right. So does that?
I think that's human nature.
Does that hurt the value of the old 10s before the pandemic? Does the new 10s have more of a value? Are because they look like they're harder to get?
Good question. What do you think, C-Rad?
I don't think so. I would say that I don't think the
tens
old
of 10.
10s of 10, yeah.
10s of 10.
It's just like just moving forward, it's gonna be. If anything, it makes the older 10s maybe more valuable because now it is harder to get a 10.
I mean, I'll tell you right now, we buy a lot of graded cards. I don't buy the old PSA slabs.
I don't like it either.
I buy the one with the PSA hologram on the slab, on the face of it. I avoid the old slabs. I don't know why.
So the old slabs don't have the.
They don't have.
Some of them don't.
They don't have the PSA hologram logo.
PSA DNA.
They have some early versions of the hologram logo that just says PSA and it's hologrammed in, but it's not like that one. And then the even earlier ones don't have any logo on it. And it looks like it's like done on a dot matrix printer.
Yeah.
And those ones scare me because I know they're easily counterfeited. Wiseman in the chat, Wiseman Chaser saying he went from 70% 10s to 30% 10s on his last order. So
I'm just saying.
Prime example.
I'm just saying. I don't know anything.
And
just saying.
Mojo Jojo asks, how's the market going to be when all those slabs finally flood the market? Is it going to be the junk slab era? That's something to consider. Yeah, I mean, that's why, like, if you're dealing with non-numbered cards, we've seen it with Luka. Luka's playing good. Luka is they just beat the crap out of the Clippers.
The Clippers out?
I think so, right? They're out. Clippers are, or is it 3-1? Or is it 2-2?
Clippers came back.
Oh, okay. Okay, I was.
Luka beat the crap out of them for 3 games, though.
3 games, yeah. So
not good enough, though.
But he's still he's in the playoffs. He could move on, and I just bought a PSA 10 Prism for $850. We're talking about a card that was $2,000.
Nice.
So $850, and he's playing better. So you throw out the fact that like he's not playing well. He's playing good.
He's playing good, and his team is in the playoffs with a chance to advance.
Yeah.
What was he doing in January when that card was $2,000?
And his card may be the specific reason why it's 30-70 now. He might have been 70-30, and that's why there's so many damn PSA 10s base of Luka right now. So that might have been the game changer as PSA's looking at that pop report because everybody sent their Luka base in, which in prior years nobody was sending that many rookie cards, base rookies in until that era changed.
Yep, that's true.
I think that was the first time that PSA's like, wait a second, we need to be a little bit more strict in how we grade because we're giving out too many 10s. Look how the market. It's like Bitcoin at this point on the Lukas, right? It's
like Luka just gets help from everywhere, bro. He got help from PSA. He got help from his mom signing cards. Like
right.
He just gets help from every single direction.
Right.
We don't know about that.
Allegedly.
We don't know.
But yeah.
This boy has the most PSA 10 prisms out of anybody in NBA probably.
Yep. Yeah.
If
100%.
you look at the pop report.
Yeah, who do you think's number 2?
LeBron?
No, I would actually say it's Zion.
I don't know. I don't feel like Zion was in the area.
Zion might be close, but I think more people probably sent in Lucas and got 10s.
I think in the last, you had 10s for sure.
Well, in that design, in 18-19 was a lot easier to grade.
Yeah.
The design that came out with the 1920 was a lot harder to grade.
A lot harder.
And then I also think they tightened up their grading system. So
a little bit, yep.
So I think that's what's causing the thing. And like I said, like HGA says that they're doing the robot grading, blah blah blah. It's human nature. You just cannot hand out 10s. You cannot give out, and then they probably change their rules. So it's going to be something that we come to expect. It might even be harder once they come back. It might even be harder to get the 10s.
Robot grading.
Robot
I
grading.
think
Dinosaur grading.
When I was breaking last week, we were talking about this exact same topic. And like we were talking about Luka dropping in price, I was like, that's surprising. But I had my theories, like basically what you just said, and I was like, Go look at a Dame Lillard PSA 10 Prism compared to a Luka PSA 10 Prism. And a Luka PSA Prism, I think it's like 16,000 or something like that. PSA 10s or some crazy.
For the silver?
The silver?
No, maybe just like a regular base, I think. Or it might be more than 16,000. But Dame was only like 200 something.
For a base prism?
For a pop, yeah.
Wow.
A PSA.
Oh, you're talking about the numbers in the pop, yeah. The
numbers in the
Oh,
yeah. The Dame Lillard silver PSA 10s are like 70. It's insane.
Yeah.
There's like very
so the regular
few silvers.
base is like 289 or something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Compared to Luka Doncic, which is
I mean,
16,000.
But what does that tell you? The only thing it tells me is that they just made way less.
They made way less, but people weren't sending them base cards like that back in the day either.
But well, I mean, where those base cards got to be somewhere though.
Could have been thrown away. I mean,
could have been thrown away. Could be in a shoebox somewhere.
Dame Dollar.
Yeah, I mean, Dame, and then they didn't have rookie cards back then. So, the average collector that bought it's funny to say this, $150 box of Prism, maybe $70 box of Prism. They weren't looking for Damian Lillard at the time. They were looking for Anthony Davis, Kyrie, and golds.
But they should have been looking for a Dame because he was a Leaf exclusive autograph guy.
Just basketball was not.
We weren't in the base era yet.
But it was very similar to Ben Simmons. But Ben Simmons rookie cards were going for a ton.
Yeah,
that didn't work with Dame Lillard. Maybe because he wasn't a top pick.
Yeah.
But
also remember, like, we didn't come into the base era until Karl-Anthony Towns with 2015.
Right,
What people
yeah.
were like, the base card is the one I want.
I actually
We were past that. We were going for the autographs of Prism. We were like looking for the autographs, not really looking for all the parallels.
I saw Doug purchased a card that I thought was very interesting. I'm looking up a Britney Spears letter, by the way.
Oh, is that on eBay, by the way?
It's not on eBay. It's not on eBay. But Doug bought a card that kind of blew my mind. It's a 2013-14
Oh, I won that?
Panini Innovation Kaboom.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, and that is like that's the OG
the
original
first
Kaboom.
I got a good deal on that. I can't believe I won that.
I don't. Yeah,
What is it?
It's the LeBron Kaboom, the original, the first one.
For a graded, right?
Yeah,
No,
9.
9.
But it's, BGS 9. But all the rest of them have been going for 9.
But I mean, it's an insert card that you paid
following
a lot of money
I was
for.
following a Kobe one from, I think not the first year, but the second year Kaboom, and it was a PSA 10 in it for like 9,000.
But the funny thing is that what I was trying to say is that innovation is not even a product anymore.
Nope.
But that is where the Kaboom originated from.
Mm-hmm.
That if the Kaboom becomes like the card to get, the insert, kind of like the PMG upper deck stuff, that could be $100,000 card
Easily. Yeah, it's and to actually that's the only year that those were hand drawn.
Yeah.
They actually had artists do those that year.
That's
why it looks a little funky.
This is hand drawn.
That's not the card. I mean the photos hand drawn.
The original
photo was.
Do they
hand-drawn,
don't insert the original art, do they?
No, I don't think so.
They didn't have 101.
But that would be
sketch
dope.
artists.
That'd be
that
dope.
would have been so
like
nice.
kind of how Museum Collection
How
does.
Topps does it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so those are pretty rare. That's why I bid on it, and I looked. I got it for $7,300. So BGS 9, but there'd been some that had been going for like $9K. It is LeBron the Heat, so I mean, but that was based on the year 13-14, which was the first Kaboom coming out of Innovation.
Yeah, there's one.
Yeah, they're a lot. I'm
18,
surprised I
18,000.
won. That's high. I dropped a bid and left. I didn't even think I was going to win it.
But I think the reason why you won it is because people were comparing the current Kaboom values.
Yes.
And it's not the same thing.
Right. That's the first Kaboom.
That's
like
it.
First
No,
Prism.
that's it. That's
why I bought it. So that's interesting. But Kabooms have really taken shape too. I mean, over the last like 2 years, it's like every year.
Comic
It's
book
crazy.
style cards, right?
Yeah.
That's why the Marvels blew up.
Yep. All right, to move on from BGS, I wanted to talk a little NFT. Is NFT mania over? Top Shot was quite the conversation. We've talked about it on this show a couple different times. And then we've got the Topps digital cards with in partnership with Wax. NFT, I mean, Top Shot, I see less of it on my Twitter feed. I see less of it on my Facebook feed. And if you go to the next slide, you can actually see the historic sales. And I'll zoom in here. You guys probably won't see it on your screen. But you see this chart of millions of dollars in sales, and one day or a couple days they hit almost 50 million in sales of singles on Top Shot.
That's how AMC looks.
And then it just kind of fell back down, and it just dipped right back down. So it went to the moon, and then it dipped back down. And you're seeing cards like Tyler Hero and stuff like that, Tyler Hero rookies that were selling for $2,500 that are down to like $5, $10 now. Now I say cards, I mean NFT moments or whatever you're calling them. I see that. I feel like the interest has died down, and I'm gonna put a tinfoil hat on here and go conspiracy on you. I feel like there was a moment where the company or somebody was injecting sales on this because cards were selling at a high clip, or moments. I keep saying cards, but they're moments. We're selling at a high clip. I sold a LaMelo Ball for $3,500. That was like at the peak. It was probably that same day. $3,500. And the lowest cards were selling right away. If you had the lowest value, they were selling almost instantly. I sold Tyrese Halliburton for like $400. Instantly sold. It almost was too good to be true, where this company was brand new, and how do you inject money in the market? You make things sell. You make people come back and sell their moments. Well, now none of the moments are selling. So what happened? What happened in the course of 2 or 3 months where you went from having 50 million in sales to having nothing? The only thing that I can come to is that there was some interjection into the market. There was some manipulation into this market to make this market seem like it's a great market to be in, that you're going to be able to open these packs and make money. And now it's just to the point where I think they're giving out they're giving bonus money. If you buy a card, you're going to get $50. If you buy a moment, you get $50 in credit back. That was on Saturday, May 29th. So that kind of promo seems like our marketplace is dying. So
it's a good
point.
I
don't know who wants to take this over. We're talking Top Shot specifically. And I also want to hear you guys' thoughts in the chats. We have the giveaway coming up, so stay tuned for that. I want to hear what you guys think about Top Shot. Is it dead? Do you think it could be revitalized? What do you think, Dan?
I think the issues that people had with getting their money out really deterred people from wanting to keep on buying moments. That was like the beginning of the end. And you should be able to relate to this because I still don't think you've received your money.
But there is a form finally now for me to fill out to put a bank account information in there.
Okay.
So I haven't done that yet.
So you're dropping the ball.
I'm dropping the ball now.
It's not Top Shot's fault.
I need to do that, yes. But I did not have that option for over 9 weeks.
Okay.
To take my money out after I made the sale.
So I think that is where I think the 3 weeks, because a lot of people in your position did exactly what you did. Like they tried, jumping through hoops, couldn't figure it out, and then they gave up.
Right.
And then when you give up, you lose interest in something. If you can't get your money out or you don't know how to get your money out, you're not going to go try and buy more moments, right?
Right.
You're not going to basically add more, whatever you want to call it, assets to your account that you may not ever be able to get money out of.
Right.
So you basically move into something else. If that's sports cards, is that like another NFT outlet that you can get your money out? Is it digital horse racing, which is a thing?
I see that too.
Yeah, no, that was really popular right after the Top Shot craze. It seemed like a lot of those people went straight to the digital horse breeding and racing. And I don't hear as much about that as I did before because it seemed like it was very difficult to get a horse.
Right.
So I don't know. I think if they could have streamlined, and I know why they didn't. They didn't do it because what you're actually saying.
That's what I'm saying. It goes along with my conspiracy theory that if they're injecting money into certain moments and they're buying up moments at a high price,
and then you're able to take that money out,
right?
Then the company's going to go bankrupt,
right? They want you to be able to buy other moments with that cash that you got. Where I had no interest in it anymore. I couldn't get any more packs. It was so hard to wait in these digital lines. You know, I got 2 kids. I got a 3-year-old and a 6-year-old. And we got Mojobreak going on. I don't have time to just wait. I want to be able to go on there when I want to go on there and buy a pack if I could. That was too challenging. And as you guys could probably all attest to that, right? I mean, We told you, but I don't think you ever even got a pack. You never even got one.
But if you, but
and
the
you wanted one.
but the reason why it was so hard to get a pack is because each pack you got, no matter who was in it, you were making 10 times your money. I bought one of the $1,000 packs. I was lucky enough to get it, and I remember it was like Super Bowl Sunday or something. And I was like laughing. I went over to your house to watch the game, and I'm like, I just did the dumbest thing ever. I'm like, I just bought a $1,000 pack, and I basically looked at the market to see what the cards were going for. The lowest numbered card I got was a Mitchell Robinson, numbered to 99, and couldn't get any worse, right? Couldn't get any worse than Mitchell Robinson. I made over 10 times the amount of money. My moments were valued at $10,000 just out of that $1,000 pack, right? Which I never sold anything. So my account at one point was evaluated at $25,000. I think I actually spent about $1,200 total, and it was worth about $25,000.
What's it worth now?
$2,000, $2,000.
A couple months.
In a couple months, it's worth $2,000 now.
That's crazy.
I'm in the black. I'm still on the positive.
Imagine if the sports card fluctuated that much. Man, I mean, and that's the funny thing is that I don't know.
Then we would see a crash.
Oh no, it would be doomsday already. I mean,
yeah.
You're talking about that's like if you bought a card for $25,000 and now it's worth $1,200. I mean, that is bad, right? And I think Cody, what was your thoughts on you were participating in the Top Shot? Any positivity to add to this conversation?
No positivity. All negativity. Like you said, Dan, I'm still in the black.
Yeah.
But on February, and I actually was able to cash out. I should mention. I was able to cash out.
They like you better than us.
And I cashed out at about $1,000 when I think at that crazy weekend in February, I was sitting at my collection, which I want to say I put maybe $75 to $80, not that much, was sitting at about $5,000. So I left $4,000 on the table. Not a good feeling, but yeah, at least I made out with my money, and I'm
just wrap your head around the fact that
all three of us won.
You turned $75.
That's it.
Into
at one
magic beans worth $5,000.
At one point, it was worth $5,000.
At one point, $5,000. Like it's like printing money. It was like making money. Like
all three of us here had more in value. I was able to buy packs. I think it was before anybody knew. I bought like 10 packs. So I spent like $100.
Yeah, you got it when it was easy to get.
And I cashed. I sold Halliburton for $350. And then I sold the LaMelo for $3,500. So that was like I took $100 and I made $4,000. You had $1,000. You had $25,000. So how does that work out? Like how does that work out?
I got an answer. Well, now mine's only worth $2,000. That's the answer.
You got left holding the bag.
But I couldn't cash out anyway.
Or you weren't interested.
But you could
have
have sold.
I could have sold, but like. I ain't got paper hands, man. I'm diamond hands unless it's AMC paper But no, like I'll hold on to my NFTs now forever. Like I'm just they're actually not even my NFTs. They're Mojobreak's NFTs.
It's got me thinking on the tops, right? So the tops.
Yeah, how much are your packs worth?
$700
a piece?
Yes. So, and I purchased them for $100 a piece. I have 10 of them.
So again, another situation where like, yeah, I was just like, here is a bunch of free money.
I probably should sell those right now before it's too late. But there was a finite amount of those. I think there was 25,000 packs of those made. So that's it. Of the premium ones. I have 9 regular ones and 10 premiums that I bought that day. And the lowest price they're trading at is $650. So if I wanted to cash out, I could cash out right now for $60. Well, maybe. Nice. I don't know how that works. I'd probably hold my money there too. But so $65. So I could literally profit $6,000 in the deal.
You know my
issue.
The
top. So it's just like magic beans. Is it real? I don't know.
You know what my issue is with the Topps NFTs, and this is gonna sound ridiculous. There's no bells and whistles and flair when you're opening it up. Like there's no like the Top Shot. They kill it. There's like music in the background. There's like the pack is opening. There's like animation. You feel like you're getting something. Topps is just like open up a pack and it's like, here's your cards.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah. Good job. Like
Yeah.
I need some animation. I need some lights. I need some sounds. I need
Absolutely.
I need something.
You need a show.
I need
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
You need somebody to
I
tickle.
see the
You need
opening
somebody to
sequence is
tickle
great.
your
like
pickle.
why would Topps like they already saw what Top Shot was doing. They should have gone over the top with that. Like
Well, I think
You-
some of the special ones have some animation.
yeah,
right?
but you could have like opened it up and it like could be a pack opening, and while the card comes up, there's like a highlight like showing like Mike Trout, and there's like Mike Trout jumping at the wall and like catching the ball, or like
They could have got really creative.
or they
is
could
what
have
you're
like
saying.
done a quick like screenshot of like 10 years of Mike Trout cards, like different iconic Mike Trout Topps cards.
Yeah. Yep. I agree.
So, all right. So we got our last topic. We're going to talk about best young quarterbacks in the hobby going into this season. Did want to mention last week, the winner of last week was Justin Gorman. So please contact us. We'll get your box out of, was it Diamond Kings last week? I already lost track. This week.
It was Transcendent.
No. No.
Diamond Kings.
Diamond Kings.
It was 18-19 National Treasures basketball.
So 18, yeah, full case. So this week we're giving away a hybrid select box.
That's a good one.
2020.
That's a good one.
That's a very good one. So let your friends know. Tell them to subscribe to Mojobreak Media. Comment on the Mojobreak Media video here. This is how you're going to have a chance to win. Comment on the Mojobreak Media video on who your favorite quarterback is of the last 3 years. Is it Daniel Jones? Is it Kyler Murray? Is it Joe Burrow? Is it Justin Herbert? Which, by the way, I pulled a Joe Burrow RPA today out of NT. So
True.
Well, redemption, but true RPA today. Is it Trevor Lawrence? Is it Jalen Hurts? I mean, one of these guys, maybe we're not talking about like a Jacob Eason. Because as we talked about on last week's show, Hype number 191, it's hard to navigate. If you're going to pick a quarterback, like it's hard. There's too many options.
Yeah, there's a lot of options.
I mean, is it best to just stay away? Is it best to dabble a little bit in all of them? I'll start with Dan. Like, given that money is not an option, I mean, it's not a problem. I said money is not an option. I don't know. You're going to sell yourself. Money is not a problem. Who are you? Who are you investing in this year? Out of the last 3 years of quarterback classes,
Kyler.
you're going Kyler still?
Yeah, forever.
Interesting.
Not even close.
Would no, like,
There's no other quarterback. That's it. Kyler Murray. He's the best.
I hate the division he's in. I think he's going to be 8-8.
I
or he's
hate
gonna
one
be
team in that division.
He's going to be 9-8 because the division's so damn hard.
Kyler Murray. He's the best.
he's probably to be pretty good.
I don't
this year, too.
necessarily disagree, and his prices aren't anywhere close to the new guys and probably what Trevor Lawrence is going to be.
Would you consider is Baker in that 3-year window, or is he in the outside?
He's just barely on the outside, but that's
Yeah.
not a bad buy either.
I like Baker, and I like and again I'm basing it off where the market is, right? I can't like I'm not gonna go Josh Allen. I love Josh Allen, but I think his prices are too high. As far as the other guys like Drew Lock,
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Do you think
Teddy-
they've given
Teddy Bridgewater
but is
might be the
Teddy
guy.
Bridgewater, did they bring him in there to be the future, or did they bring him in there to maybe
But Drew Lock. This would have been the year that it would be a make or break year for him, and now he has a guy who he is going to be competing for and probably not going to get the job from.
Not
So-
to mention if they actually land Rodgers.
Yeah. So no on the Drew Lock.
Daniel Jones could be primed for a bounce back year, big
Dude,
stage, New York.
I know, but that
Saquon
you want to
healthy,
talk.
maybe?
You want to talk about it. You want to talk about a division that division's terrible. And I don't. It's the Giants aren't that good. You got to. I mean, having a healthy Saquon can make him a lot better. But how healthy is Saquon going to be?
Right. He's already had a couple years of injuries, right?
So yeah, I think Kyler is the best bet talent-wise, and the best bet market-wise with the amount of room that you have to grow. Second would be Baker.
Yeah, I mean,
What about Dak?
Dak's a little bit outside.
Dak is like a seasoned vet now at this point. 2000,
He's not
2000
part of the young boys.
2016.
But you still like to. You
like
still
a-
would invest in him though.
That's like 22 years in like hobby years.
hobby
Like
years. Yeah, I mean, Dak. I like Dak's price. I mean, they have been going up. I think based on what Dan was talking about a couple weeks ago, everybody listened and they started buying Dak.
You
single-handedly drove the price up.
I changed the market.
You pumped
week
it up.
in and week out, I changed. Look at Shohei. Look what I've done. It has nothing to do with what he's doing on the field. It literally is what I tell people to buy.
Yep. Absolutely.
I'm completely kidding. Don't send me an email. Don't get all angry.
No,
at
do
me.
it. We want to hear a comment.
No, I don't have. I'm a fragile guy. I don't have the strength for it. So
I'm hanging on by a thread.
I'm hanging on by a thread. One more bad email. One more get rid of Dan from the hype email might just put me over the edge. I can't. It'll be a 2-man show. I'll just be hanging out.
Hey, three.
Never.
Three man. Well, I mean.
Super producer.
Super producer Cody. Without Cody, the show wouldn't exist. The microphone wouldn't be sanitized or put together here. It always smells great. I gotta say, nothing better than sitting in front of a freshly sanitized.
I forgot
microphone.
the miss today. You're
Damn it!
I screwed up. I'm sorry. Oh! I'm out.
You're like, no wonder it doesn't smell as fresh.
So who you going with, C-Red?
Man, it's really tough to argue the Kyler argument. He's really primed up to be to have a breakout year, or have good next few years. I like Baker a lot too. If money wasn't an object though, and I know it's very scary because he's coming off an injury, I actually would probably put Burrow up there. I like Burrow a lot.
Yeah, that was gonna be you guys both kind of took who I was leaning to, but. I think Daniel Jones. I mean, I watched the kids, the rookie premiere, and the arm he has. He's on the big stage. I think if he can get the job done, they believe in him there. And his prices are well below everybody else we mentioned.
Danny Dimes.
Well below. You can probably get 20 Danny Dimes before you get one Justin Herbert. So it's a low-risk investment on Daniel Jones. He's in New York.
It's a prime market too.
Yeah, so I mean, I think I would on a sleeper, I'd go Daniel Jones, but I'm a firm believer in Kyler, and I've been a firm believer in Kyler.
Yeah.
Also to note, 2019 might be a good wax to invest in based on the 2020 prices of some of the same prisms and selects, and then based on what we're probably going to see the 2021. So, I mean. And you can't completely count out Dwayne Haskins. I mean, he's probably done, but he is on the Steelers now. You never know. He may get a shot. They also have some other skill position players in that 2019 draft as well that might pan out. I mean, Drew Lock's not done, but I'm just saying that for if you want to rip some wax, 2019's not a bad
I actually
rip.
Dwayne Haskins. I actually like that as a low risk investment. If he does have to take over for Roethlisberger, Mike Tomlin wins football games regardless of who his quarterback is.
Yep, that's true.
So I actually like the Dwayne Haskins. Give him a shot with a team that is decent, has weapons around him. What about Jalen Hurts?
I think we haven't seen enough on Jalen Hurts.
I was going to say that. I don't feel like we've seen enough.
But the Eagles do have some talent there, and I think they could win that division. I think that division's a coin flip between all the teams, with maybe the exception of Washington. But I think between between the Giants came on strong too. That's what you guys forget about Daniel Dimes is the Giants came on last 5 or 6 games. He's the best quarterback on the roster. What about and then we didn't even mention. Joe brings up in the chat Sam Darnold. He's finally in the NFL because he was on a college team, the Jets. Now he's finally in the NFL, and he's gonna get a prime time there in Carolina. He's not gonna have a lot of expectations.
It's funny you just said Danny Dimes, big market, and then you just say Sam Darnold wasn't even on an NFL team.
Well,
market though.
The Jets are barely a team, so. There was some kind of Twitter meme going like
they got a new coach. They got your guy. You got Robert Saleh.
That's true.
Offensive genius.
And they got Zach Wilson there now. It's also going to be interesting to see. I think that Trey Lance will sell for more based on him being a Niner compared to Zach Wilson, who was drafted as a second overall. Trevor Lawrence obviously going to be out of the gate, going to be the number one guy, but I think Trey Lance will be the second. And then
I disagree with you, like I usually do. I think the second highest quarterback at the start of the season, value-wise, is going to be Mac Jones. Patriots. I think people are going to speculate that he is going to be the next Tom Brady. And the Patriots quarterbacks always sell well. Look at Stidham, and he was like, what, a 3rd or 4th rounder?
Yeah, that's true.
Chris in the chat says he's a lifelong Steelers fan. Don't overhype Tomlin. He inherited a Super Bowl winning roster. Average at best. Who was it before him? Mr. Mustache. What was
Bill Cowher.
You gotta give that franchise just their props in terms of coaching, because like you see the turnaround on coaches.
They've only like 3 coaches, like 50 years, right? It's crazy.
As long as they keep as long as that coach keeps the winning culture going, like you can't really. That's
Tom,
not a negative either.
Tomlin retires tomorrow. He is a Hall of Famer as a coach.
Here's an interesting play with the National in mind. We're going to have a couple more football products before the National. Do you think if you're heading to the National, could you make a play on Justin Fields? Maybe buy some now, take him to Chicago, where he's the god.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, I mean.
He's like the next. They hated Trubisky. They wanted him out of town. Now they got the next guy.
You can always do that with, and that's a good point, Chicago, because we actually saw that with the Chris Bryant hype. People were swooping up, knowing the National was going to be in Chicago. They were buying as much Chris Bryant as they could to basically try to flip it at the show.
Here we go, Justin Fields market.
So that's a
Dan
good point.
said it.
No, but actually Doug said it.
But then you reiterated it.
Yeah, so yeah, it's too late. You missed the boat already.
Well, because I feel like the Cubs, there's nothing. Maybe Ed Howard as a prospect. The Bryant's don't. Bryant's a great player, obviously MVP or Rookie of the Year, all that, all the accolades. He won the World Series, but he just doesn't sell for. He's like almost like Buster Posey now. He just doesn't sell that much. So I'm trying to think of, and Javier Baez doesn't sell well anymore.
Snag those Yoelqui Cespedes autos now.
Oh, that's true. We got the White Sox too.
We forgot. You always forget the Chicago White Sox.
You do, yeah. It's such a Cubs area that you forget about the Chicago White Sox.
You guys want to go to a White Sox game this year?
I guess with that in mind, you could bring the Eloy Jimenez. I know he's hurt, but bring some of those cards out there.
Actually, that's a good point by Max. It probably is a good time to buy Lou Bob's.
Yeah.
Out maybe for the year. He might come back in September.
I bet even outright. I bet his prices are crazy. Even
they are probably about 20% below they were to start the season.
Yeah.
Not a huge.
Still to say it's expensive.
It's still expensive. Not a huge dip, but a dip.
Yeah. And you know what we say?
Buy the dip.
Sell the dip. When it starts tanking, just get out.
And don't be a dip, and hit subscribe right on this Mojobreak Media channel right now. Hit subscribe. We've got some great videos in the pipeline. There's also the great Jimmy Pardo. You got to watch that if you haven't. Cody and Jimmy Pardo opening up some packs. He pulled an NFL shield. You got to check it out. He didn't even know what it was. It was insane. He also had a great story about Pete Rose. So check that out here on Mojobreak Media channel. Cody and Jimmy Pardo. Fantastic video. And we also have we're going to have another video coming up soon with Michael Hodges from the Clubhouse. And we also plan to have more guests and celebrities doing break room videos with us. Maybe even more at the National. You don't know. So check it out. Make sure you go to mojobreak.com for your breaks. And where everything is scheduled. Everything is guaranteed. We're breaking everything. Everything from F1 to soccer to baseball, football, basketball, hockey. It's all going down every week, every day at mojobreak.com. And mojobreakshop.com. Pre-order Finest right now. It's coming out on Friday. Finest Baseball. You can pre-order your box now at a low price. And check out the daily deals we have at mojobreakshop.com where we ship wax around the world. So that's it for the hype number 192. We'll see you next week on 193. Peace.